Good evening, traders. Zach here with the Trading Network. Hope everybody is doing well and that you all had a nice weekend. Got another weekly market profile forecast for you guys, so let's dive right in here. At the moment, I have the session profile up, and I just wanted to point out something real quick before we dive into the weekly profile. I wanted to note that we actually opened up this evening and moved up very quickly to a naked point of control from November 9th. So that level was 36.0650. So that just to kind of give you guys an idea moving forward in this video and also moving forward in the week, that's going to be a major level that I'm looking at in regards to tomorrow's session opening up, and how we are going to react to that level is going to be pretty telling, in my opinion, on what we're going to do throughout the rest of the week. So with that said, let's go ahead and mark that level here. I'm going to mark it off and label it real quick. So that's going to be the 11.9 POC, and that's at 36.0650. So actually, before we go over to the weekly chart, I'm going to mark up a couple of these other major levels. All right, so I think that's sufficient for now because we're going to be looking a little bit higher here. So here's the weekly profile, and what I'm thinking in regards to first few sessions moving forward in the week is this 36.06 level is going to be our line in the sand. And that was a major point of control, and you can see that it actually matches up with a nice value area high here, as well as an initial balance level from the weekly profile. So I'm going to draw a range here. I could do it a couple of different ways. I could draw a range between 0150 and 0650, which is a little tight. But generally speaking, I'll give it a little bit more room since this is a weekly profile. And we'll draw this little zone from basically 35.92, where this value area high is from the week of November 3rd. And we'll draw it up to 36.0650, which is that naked point of control that we just visited that was created on November 9th. So with that said, if we hold above this level, if we get acceptance above it, continue to do business. Just going back to the profile, session profile, you can see we're hanging above right here. We are at around 36.10 at the moment, which is above, again, the point of control from the November 9th regular trading hour session. It is also above the initial balance high, which, for those of you who are not aware, the initial balance is the first hour range. So this is good for the bulls, in my opinion, if we can hold above this level and get acceptance. And if we can, with that said, I would be looking towards these higher levels, specifically 23. You can see how this value area high from the 9th regular trading hour session also matches up with the value area high from the overnight session right here. So you can see the outside of the value area is kind of shaded. It's dark up here. So this is the value area high from the 11.9 overnight. This is the value area high from the 11.9 regular trading hour session. So most immediately, I'd be looking at that 36.23 level. I'll go ahead and mark it up here just so we can have it. That is the 11.9 value area high at 36.23. And that's, again, a level that I'm getting from the session profile. And above that, I would be looking at this 36.40 level, which is the regular trading hours high from the weekly profile of November 2nd. So that's 36.4075. And I'm going to go ahead and copy this level here and just adjust it a little bit. And I'm going to draw a zone actually between these two levels, because I think that is a nice little area to look for some reaction. So just to reiterate, that is going to be a zone between 36.4075 and 36.4525. So I'm just going to take my region highlight tool, highlight a little region there. And above that, you can see I don't really have anything on the weekly profile. So we'll go back to the session profile, and you can see that in that overnight session here, we did have a high value node. I would say between, well, 36.54 and 36.55 quarter, 36.55 half, something like that. So I'll go ahead and I'll mark another region there. And I could go ahead and plot lines there as well, and we could call it, high value node, something like that. Overnight 11.9, overnight HVN. So that again stands for the overnight high value node. And once again, for those of you who are not aware, the high value node is essentially just a node or a spot in a volume profile or a market profile, whatever you're looking at really, that protrudes. This is an area right here, high value node, high value node, high value node. You can see there's actually one that sticks out a little here. And those are areas of interest. You can look for high value nodes on the profile, again on volume or market profile or together, most preferably. And that will give you areas of interest. That'll tell you at least where a lot of business has been done. And typically that is going to be an area where you can take trades off of and get reaction from. So just to be sure I have this correct, I've got the bottom at 53. I'll move it up a tiny bit. Flip this text around real quick. And there we go, we have that labeled. So on the upside, I will be looking at 36.23, which is the value area high from the November 9th regular trading hour session. I will be looking at 36.40.75. This range more specifically between 36.40.75 and 36.45.25. And you can see I have another range here higher that we just marked off, and then obviously the all-time high. So again, this is the line in the sand for me. More specifically, this range or this region here that I marked off from the weekly. And you can see that we have a nice high value node here, and we are filling out this area here in the current overnight session. And flipping back over to the weekly, go ahead and get rid of my drawings if I can, one sec. All right, so flipping back over to the weekly, just to reiterate, this 3606, 3600 level is very important, right? So if we lose this to the downside, I will be looking towards this region between 3586 and 92. I will be looking towards this 3577 level, which was a previous all-time high from the regular trading hour session that we discussed last week. I will be looking at, and these are major levels, again, from the weekly, so we can look and kind of hammer into the session profile and get more granular with targets as well. So on a more longer term scale for the week, these are the levels that I'll be looking at to the downside. 77.25, that is the week of August 31st, regular trading hours high. 35.77.25 to be precise. After that, I would be looking at 35.41, which is the weekly regular trading hours high from the week of October 12th. And below that, I really like this 34.93.97 area that we've talked about a lot in these last videos, I'd say for the past few weeks at least. And that is because we have so many different levels from different weekly profiles lining up together. So we have 34.97 from the week of August 24th, which is the regular trading hours high. We've got 34.93, which is the point of control from the next weekly session, August 31st. Now, moving forward, we have the initial balance low, and we also have the initial balance high at between 35.01 and 34.86, where that 34.93 level just sits very nicely in between, and that is from the weekly profile of the October 12th weekly session. And then the following week we have the weekly range high from the regular trading hours session at 34.93.75, and then again week of November 2nd, we have a point of control that actually ended up being a weekly naked point of control that is still indeed naked because it has not been touched. So with that said, we have a ton of interest in this area. I would say from 97 to 84 at the very least. Maybe you could extend this down to 74 a little bit. So this is a very, very interesting region, and this is where really on a longer term scale, I would be looking for us to come back down into if we can't hold this 3600 region. So just to kind of reiterate, and actually, you know what, let's go over to the regular chart real quick. All right, so I just wanted to hop over to the regular chart real quick and show you guys what these levels are looking like on just a good old candlestick chart. So you can see here, I've got the value area high at 35.73.75 marked off from the November 13th session. So that is a major level, and you can see we have, of course, this 36.06 level marked off that coincides very nicely with Fibonacci pivot R2. So I will be looking for this area to hold. You can see this is also current session VWAP, and it is also, with that said, the third upper deviation of the previous session VWAP from Friday. So that's a very interesting level. And again, if we can hold this level and get acceptance, I really do like moves up to these higher levels. 36.23. We've got Fibonacci pivot R3 up at 36.35. And then we've got these nice ranges up here that are going to give us some very good trade opportunity, very likely. So that is what I'm looking at on a bit more of an immediate scale upon open tomorrow morning. Obviously, it's pretty late here, so I'm going to be going to bed soon. But this is what I'm going to be preparing for in the morning, and this is how I prepare. You know, it's really important to not go in blind when you wake up early, especially, and just dive right into the markets. It's really important to have a plan. And with that said, I write all of my trade plans for the ES futures market and post them in our Facebook group for free. So just to kind of do a quick recap here, what I will be looking at moving forward into tomorrow morning's session is us to hold or break this 3606 50 level, or this 3606 region. You know, like I said, it could come down to 3600. We've got a high value node here from that 11.9 session. So I'm looking for either acceptance above this level and to move up into these higher targets here that we have marked off and that we've previously discussed. And if we don't hold this level here, 3600, 3606, then I'm going to be looking for a move back down to 3590, which is the regular trading hours high from November 13th, and then to lower profile levels. I really like this 90.85 area. That was a level that we were discussing last week in regards to if we break above that, we are likely to see back into the 3600s and revisit those highs. So we will see if that does happen. We will see if 3606 can hold, and if it does, we're looking higher. You know, the trend is our friend, and we just want to use the information as it comes to us to our advantage. So with that said, if you guys are enjoying this content, if you guys like these weekly market profile videos, if you like the daily recaps, if you like learning about market profile, if you like watching me scalp, all the videos that I've been posting, I'd love to get feedback on so I can really provide you guys with more content that you enjoy. So with that said, if you do enjoy this stuff, please hit like and subscribe down below. And check out the links in the description where you can find access to our free Facebook group where I release my trade plans based on market profile every day at New York Open for free. You can also find access to our website, thetradingnetwork.io, where you can get one-on-one mentorship with me. You can join our private Discord community where you can watch me trade at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. You can also find access to our proprietary indicator package, which you've seen in this video. And last but not least, you can find our Fundamentals of Futures Trading course, which is our new comprehensive course on trading futures. So with that said, I want to thank you guys for being a part of the Trading Network, taking the time to watch my videos, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.